Let me tell you a story about my friend Little Johnny. Little Johnny is 5 years old and he lives in Atlanta with Daddy. And Johnny isn't like most kids. See, Johnny likes to puzzle with things that are broken. Not only does Johnny like to puzzle with puzzle pieces, but Johnny likes to puzzle with puzzle people, each one falling into place and forming a cracked picture on this broken earth. Johnny used to have a mommy, but she left in tears last year and never really came back. When Johnny finally worked up the courage to ask, Daddy just rolled his eyes and laughed, saying, "Mommy's just missing a few pieces like those puzzles you've been playing with." Daddy leaves too sometimes, but he always comes back with a big black bag full of money, Daddy's first puzzle piece. Sometimes Daddy will have friends over, but they're always so much younger than Daddy and they seem sad like Mommy was. Occasionally, men will visit Daddy's friends. Johnny doesn't like the way that it sounds like screams, Daddy's second puzzle piece. One night, Daddy told Johnny to hide in the closet, but he looked through the cracks and he could see the blue and red lights of the policemen that Daddy said to never talk to. 3 puzzle pieces. Daddy was gone for several days after those policemen came. Eventually, Johnny had eaten everything in the house that he could find, and it's been a great deal of time puzzling in his mind, but as much as he tried, he couldn't solve Daddy's puzzle. Why is he gone? Suddenly, there were lights outside. The door broke down and Johnny screamed at the terrible sound. Policemen came into the house and they grabbed Johnny, but gently, differently than Daddy used to, especially when he was angry. They took Johnny outside and they wrapped a big fuzzy blanket around Johnny. Nearby, Johnny could hear Mommy crying. Suddenly, Mommy was there with her arms around Johnny, telling him that everything would be okay. Johnny was safe. Like as though he wasn't already. It's been 3 years to the day since those policemen came. Johnny doesn't quite understand what happened yet, but all he knows is that Mommy loves him best. You see, Mommy has friends over too sometimes. But they're different. Mommy's friends love Mommy, and Johnny too. Mommy even has a special friend that seems to love Mommy just a little extra. It doesn't hurt that he likes to do a puzzle or two. Johnny will eventually learn that Daddy was involved in some pretty terrible things. See, Daddy never had friends over, they worked for Daddy. And the men that used to visit Daddy's friends were customers. Daddy was a sex trafficker. See, Atlanta, where Johnny lives, is one of the worst cities in the United States for these kinds of crimes, racking in over $300 million a year from sex trafficking alone. That's more than Atlanta's illegal drug and weapons trades combined. On top of that, the average age range for a beginning sex slave in the United States, land of the free and home of the brave, is 11 to 14. Just a few years older than little Johnny is now. It's funny. People hear this story, they're bound to think what a horrible thing. But what we don't even realize is that the eyes of a child are out there somewhere watching this all unfolding right now. They could even be one of the estimated 27 million slaves in our world today. Now, I don't say this to be a downer, but I do desire to make a change and bring awareness for little Johnnies to every stage that comes my way.